Does Deadlock have too much information on the screen at one time? Kind of thinking about like Overwatch and that example of Overwatch 2 and Overwatch 1 has always had so much stuff on the screen and you can't really see what's going on. Same thing with titles like, Fortnite, when you're in the last zone, the little tiny zone, there's too much stuff on the screen. Also, like Apex Legends is the same way. So all these games have something similar. There's too much stuff on the screen, right? Especially this game. So Deadlock, this is a question that Deadlock Intel has asked the community. They basically responded to their own post saying, I personally don't think it's bad when playing it, but might be nice to have a UI editor since a lot of people don't use a lot of the information shown, which is very true. I feel like Valve doesn't really care about it too much right now just because Valve has their own editing kind of the UI once they are going to be doing the tournaments. So usually they have that UI and that spectator thing already set up for the tournaments. As of right now, I wish they did have a UI editor for your HUD to make it less distracting and less things on screen for your viewers at least. Yes, it's going to be really good for in-game, and when you're playing in the game, it's really good for yourself, right? Once it gets to a point where you're in battle and your audience does not know what's going on, and especially when it's a tournament setting, when the viewership is going to be declining just because of there's so much stuff going on, especially when there's all kinds of numbers floating around on your screen of doing damage, these certain active abilities, and so forth. I can see how people would think this is a very bad way of showing things in the game, and that a UI editor will be really, really nice to have. Just one person said it's great for the player playing, like I just said, but it's awful spectator experience, like I just said. I think it's designed that way because Valve majors use custom UI anyway, which what I said, so Valve is probably going to be using a custom UI anyway. Another person said someone hasn't played a MMORPG in their life. Yeah, MMORPGs are like that, but they're not really a viewership kind of game unless it's like a hardcore viewership of MMORPG players, right? So what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a bad thing for Deadlock, or do you guys think it is fine? Do you guys think they're not really going to have a UI editor in the game? In my opinion, I feel like they're definitely going to be having a UI editor in the game to go in the game, edit your HUD, and then it'll be better for your audience and it'll be better for you to keep track of things. That's one of the biggest things, in my opinion, that Overwatch has a huge problem with, is that you can't really edit your HUD as much as you'd like to. You can't go in there and change everything. So basically whatever's on your screen and all that stuff that's going on your screen, like the abilities nonstop and everybody's using the abilities at the same time, that's going to be very confusing to the normal player, and it's going to push those normal players away from the game because they want something a little bit more simpler. Now, saying that as well, Deadlock is not simple at all. It's a very competitive game, and it's a very intricate kind of game, kind of like League of Legends is, and kind of like Dota 2 is. So it's basically like that. It's a very hard game to learn once you're starting out, but once you're going through the game phases and learning all the items and stuff, then you realize what's going on in the game more. And I'm sure that since it's in alpha, that they're going to get better at making the specific active items, because some items are not as readable. Like, say, for example, curse. You get cursed and you can see your character flicker, but once you're in combat and you're in like a big team fight, you can't really notice that. So it would be cool if you could have a UI editor that says like cursed or something, or like an audio cue that pops up on you that says knockdown, curse, like if you get knocked down by the active, or if you get silenced, small things like that. That would be cool to add into the game as well, like audio cues, and especially things that pop up on the screen like text that can be a little bit bigger on the screen that can pop up as well, which would be nice. I don't think this is going to go down a direction of it being like this forever. Like I said, I think that comment was right, talking about Valve and talking about how they will fix this, especially for their tournaments and especially for the casual player and for the esports player, because everybody wants more options in a game, and Valve knows that. So they're definitely going to be working on something. I don't know what yet, but I guarantee you they're going to be working on more stuff for the HUD to make it less cluttered and help with seeing what's going on in the game. There's one more comment I want to talk about. Is this is the biggest issue. Not only do elements overlap, but there's also barely any explanation of what each thing is. It's manageable during this early phase, but as the game progresses, more items appear in this area and it becomes increasingly hard to read, which he does have a point about, because as you can see from the screenshot, you literally cannot see anything and everything's overlapping. So they definitely gonna have to move some stuff around in the UI or make it just simpler, so when stuff does happen to you, item is on you, or a haze slept you, or you know, Infernus and Wraith is damaging each other and whatnot with the flame bullets, and then Wraith is like doing spirit damage, you can distinguish that way easier than what it is right now, which a lot of things overlap. A lot of people do say that it's not that annoying and it's not that obstructive of your entire view, which I do agree with as well. Like, it's not too much, but I feel like sometimes when the things do overlap, obviously that's a lot, but as playing the game personally, like that comment said, it's fine. It's perfectly fine to me. I feel like I can read everything and I feel like I got used to everything. It's just talking about the viewer experience, just making sure they can realize what's going on. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Leave a comment down below. I love to discuss this topic with you guys and find out what you guys think of it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like on this video, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification icon to always get posted when I do post a brand new video here on YouTube. Have a great day and or night, guys, and peace.